Hi, my name's Chris Hague and I'm a member of the Guideline Pro team. I'm fishing the River Derwent at Chatsworth House today, but before I jump in, I'm just going to talk you through the setup that I'm going to be using. It's quite cold, so all the fish are sort of nose down. I've seen no activity, so I'm going to run a French leader through this pool. My setup today is the Guideline LPS 9'6" 2-weight rod. I've got it paired with a Guideline Halo 2-3 reel. And my French leader construction is a line called Asso. This comes in various colours. I use it in the white. I find white really easy to see on the water. 14 pound, and it's the hard skin. Like it says, it's got an hard shell, an hard skin, and it shoots really well when you're casting the nymphs. So that's my construction of my French leader. My strike indicator is made up of two materials. The first part is the core of a shooting line. I gave this tip by my good friend Alan Rees, and you can actually, if you skewer this with your nail, can you see how it puts a crinkle in it? So that is if that's hanging on the water and you see any slight movement, you know that it's a take. Underneath that, I like to use some bi or tricolour. This is bicolour Rio, but Cortland do it as well. And I quite like a long strike indicator. And I also leave these tabs in. If you can see the tabs, these are very handy to see in bad light. It's much easier to see the tabs than it is to see the strike indicator itself. So that's a nice little tip for you. When I come down to my Tipit material, I'm using Guideline Igor. It's just over £3. This what I'm using today. I daren't go too much lighter as there's some big fish in here. But what I'm looking for in a Tipit material, and it doesn't have to be Guideline, it can be anybody's, I'm looking for good quality strength but suppleness. It's all about the suppleness for me. That allows my fly to move in the water looking more natural, the suppleness of the line. So that's my setup. I'm only using a single fly today because it's a single fly water. We're only allowed to use a single fly on here. If I'm using multiple flies, people often ask me how far apart do I measure my flies and do I use a tape measure? No, I don't. The answer is no, I don't. What I use is a measurement from my body. I know from the tip of my finger sort of to my elbow is approximately 18 inch. So if I want to tie a dropper in at 18 inch, that's my measurement. I know from the tip of my finger to here is 3 foot. So if I want 6 foot of Tipit, that's 3 foot, 6 foot. So if you measure a body part or even something on your rod, something that you can quickly reference to a length, that'll be very helpful on the water. Couple of little tips before I go. You might see down my rod, I actually have some little black O-rings on my rod. And these, when I'm fishing droppers, are what I connect my droppers to. I'll have my point fly here, and I'll connect my droppers onto the O-rings here, so that when I'm walking along the banks and the vegetation, they don't get caught up and tangled. And my last tip for you today is, if the light is really bad and you're struggling to pick your strike indicator up, I use this wax. It's called neon wax. Comes in various colours, and you just rub it onto your line and it shines luminous. It's a very handy little piece of kit. Again, that comes in different colours because everybody's eyes is different. I might see pinks and whites on the water, the next guy might see yellows and greens. So play with your strike indicator, get something that works for you. Right, I hope you've enjoyed the few tips, and hopefully there'll be some more to come through the season.